Puppies are cute, cuddly, and perfect for most families, but you have to consider if you are right for the pet. Many people decide they want a puppy without doing their research. This leads to an overabundance of animals in shelters. Grand Forks Humane Society Executive Director Arlette Moen will tell us things to consider before making this commitment. Thank you for joining us today. It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So what are some things you should consider if you are right for the pet?
Well, the first thing you need to consider is what kind of lifestyle you have. Your lifestyle determines the kind of pet you should have. You might think that you are in the market for a St. Bernard, but when you really look at all the factors involved, what you should really have is a hamster. So you have to consider how much time you have for a pet. Are you gone all day? Are you a student? Do you have a lot of activities? If you're gone 12 hours a day, you might want a pet that has there's no pet that requires no care, but you might want to pick a pet that requires less care than, say, a puppy that requires being taken out every two hours or so. So it's really important to consider your lifestyle first and foremost to see what kind of pet best fits you.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to buy a pet that's so overly active when you're not home that much.
Absolutely, because all pets need socialization. Even hamsters and guinea pigs need socialization, but not to the extent that puppies do. Puppies need to be taught what to do. They don't automatically know how to go to the bathroom. They don't know not to chew your shoes. They don't know how to react to people. They need to be taught those things. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that when they can't do that when they're kept in kennels for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Are there any physical characteristics you need to look for when looking for a pet?
Well, physical characteristics, from my point of view, is probably less important than actually the temperament of the dog. If you are concerned about being allergic, if you're concerned about the size of a pet, if you're concerned about hair everywhere, those are things you might want to consider. And yes, if you live in a small apartment, you certainly don't want a St. Bernard or a Great Pyrenees in your apartment. If you live on a farm, that might be a consideration. You might want to consider those things. If you're very particular about your house, the condition of your house, you might not want a dog that sheds a lot. But again, there are no dogs that don't shed that. So if you're very meticulous about housekeeping, pets may not be on your list of things to get.
How much does a pet cost over the long run?
It's difficult to say because every pet requires different things. Cats and dogs obviously require high quality food, they require toys, they require bedding, they require vet visits if they get into accidents, if they get ill. Those are additional costs over and above the normal food, cat litter kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So again, that's hard to say. It's hard to say how much a pet is going to cost, but they are not cheap. If you're interested in getting a pet for nothing, even if you get a giveaway pet or a pet for free, that pet is not free over the lifetime of the pet. And you need to think about a pet being a lifetime commitment, and that commitment could be 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, it's always updating the shots, updating the food, making sure that they are comfortable.
Absolutely.
How do you know if a pet is good for your family?
Again, take a look at your lifestyle. Take a look at the activities the kids are in. Take a look at how active your family is. If you do have the time for a pet, get a pet that has a high energy level. Many labs have high energy levels, Springer Spaniels. There are a lot of pets that just like to bounce off the walls. And those are the kind of pets that need active outdoor families. Mm-hmm. You may be the kind of family that is quieter, doesn't spend a lot of time outdoors, so you might prefer having a cat in your home. But you want to do some research. You need to think about this. You need to research different breeds of animals, cats, dogs, birds, small mammals.
Are there certain questions you have to ask breeders when you're going out and researching puppies and other animals?
Well, if you're interested in a breeder, you want to use a reputable breeder, and those are the breeders that want to breed animals for the good qualities in their pets. They want to perpetuate those qualities. So you want to see that those puppies are raised in a home, that there aren't many litters a year, and that they don't have a lot of animals that they're breeding at one time, and that they're happy for you to come and see how the puppies are raised in their homes. So those are things that you want to consider if you're looking at a breeder. Although again, there are many, many pets in animal shelters all across the country that need good homes. So.
How do you know if you're purchasing from a reputable breeder?
Well, I think those things that I just mentioned, make sure you talk to them, talk to them about health certificates, talk to them about how the puppies are raised, if they're raised in a home, if you can come and meet them in the home, that kind of thing. I think that's important.
There's so much to go along with buying a pet instead of just a simple, I think this pet looks cute, I want this one. It's more of a commitment. But thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're watching